Hi. So this is gonna be a very much different video because I am not used to storytelling or sharing any kind of stories of myself in any way, shape, or form, let alone professionally or in a in a structurized way. So please bear with me. There's fair warning or heads up. I struggle quite a lot making eye contact or keeping my eyes centered in one place. So just bear with me. This is going to be something that I would like to be doing a little more frequently and building a structure along the way as I do it, because right now there's none. But yeah, so I am going to be sharing some stories about myself, some silly, stupid, goofy mistakes that I did when I was younger, and that I hope that you guys don't ever do if you guys ever find in the same situation I did, and learn from this, because I made some quite questionable, dumb mistakes, and I don't condone anybody to do anything that I did. I'm just trying to share this with the world out there so that they have better decision making whenever they do, if they do find themselves in some situations that could bring them some trouble. Please, if you feel like this video, cheered you up a little bit, maybe brought a little grin to your chin, a little grin to your face, or made your chin feel a little bit chinner, please, I would really appreciate it if you guys leave a like, subscribe, share it with, I don't know, your cat, your consciousness, whoever, I don't care, and hit the noti bell. Anywho, I'm gonna bring this back to my days in high school. I was probably a junior in high school. I have a goldfish memory. I can't really fully remember days or details, months, but in this particular instance, I believe it was around 2016, 17, maybe mid 2017, but I had started getting into the the roads, the path, the way of the marijuana, the ganja, the zaza, the hashish, the hash, the boof. Depends which way you look at it, good or bad, boof. Anyway, I had already had a previous experience with me, which I can make a video about it if you guys want me to, where the first time I ever got high was with an edible, with a brownie in California. So if you guys want me to share that, let me know. Let's get to, I don't know, 2 likes. But yeah, I had started looking into wanting to smoke weed because I had never done it before, and obviously, naturally, when you're in high school, what you do is you go around and ask people that you've never met before, because I had moved to this school just that year, like the year prior. My freshman year of high school, I took in LA. Now I am here in Washington, so sophomore, junior, senior year of high school, I took here. So I was still getting to know people. I was learning English, so I just did what every fiend would do, which would literally be come up to people, random people, and just ask them, "Hey, do you smoke weed? Or are you 420 friendly?" And just ask people, just like, yes, no, okay, what do you think about it? Would you do it? No, okay, blah. And I didn't find anybody that would smoke or anything like that at first. So I was like, well, crap, of course it's school, what am I doing? I'm doofus, I'm asking people if they smoke at school, what? So people probably thought I was a little weird or fucking crazy, but it doesn't matter. However, I did kind of get blessed, right, with a classmate that one day just gave me a baggie, lunch bag, and told me to throw it away. And I was like, okay, cool, sure. So I looked at it, and at the very bottom of the fucking corner, I saw a little fucking speck of green leaves, and I was like, what is this? Why you want me to throw it away? He's like, oh, I don't use it. I don't do it. And I was like, oh, is this Mary J? Is this marijuana? He was like, yeah, but I don't want it. I don't do it. So can you just throw it away? I was like, can I just keep it? And he was like, yeah, I don't care. I just don't want it. And I was like, bet. So curious me went home, walked home. My apartments were literally behind the school, not even a mile, like not even a quarter of a mile away from my house. Not even that. It was literally, it was from here to like the fucking corner of, I don't know, wherever you live. Very close, very much close. I could just walk to the school, take like less than 5 minutes, and I would still always be late. But anywho, take the curious little me goes home, well, to the apartments, and watches videos on how to make fucking homemade pipes and shit. So obviously, I get an apple. I'm in high school. I get an apple. Make some holes in it. Everything. Do it. And I feel nothing. I feel disappointed. So, I kind of got blessed because in one of my classes, I remember I would sit by the back. The tables would be set up in such a way that they were not rows. It was kind of like a U going along the edges, the walls of the classroom, and there would be like a smaller U in front of it, and then the teacher would be like in the far corner across from the door. Anyway, I just casually asked one of my classmates I had never talked to. He seemed pretty quiet, you know. I was like, yo, you smoke? He like very like low key, kind of like. And I was like, oh, and I just wrote down a little note on paper and just passed it to him. He was like, you sell? Can you sell me anyway? He was like, passed me back the paper, and he said yes. And I was like, so hit him up. I'm like, how much? He's like, how much you want? He's like, can you give me a gram? Or I don't know. I did not know. I don't even remember. I did not know how you could sell what, but we ended up agreeing on a gram, and I was like, say less. So we exchanged snaps. And the morning after, we agreed to meet up by the library of the school so I could just, you know, do the deal and then head back home. And so I do that, and I did it. And by lunchtime, I tell one of my friends, let's call him Zach. I call my friend Zach. He was a white Mormon guy, very much well provided by his parents, you know. Very much socially awkward, but very funny, very much funny. Super nice guy, for the most part. Yeah, nice. He was super nice guy. But I take this poor, you know, child of God with me, and I ask him, hey man, I got some weed. You want to smoke it with me? You want to try it? He was like, kind of like nervous, but he was like, sure. So we go to my house during lunchtime, and you know, I tell him, oh, don't worry, like I already know how to make a pipe and everything. So we go ahead and you know, we grind up the little bud. I make the little pipe, you know. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to make apple pipe. But for those who don't know, hope you don't need it. You just plug. Actually, I'm not gonna show you right now. I could do some other time. But anyway, I make the apple. Well, I don't make the apple. I make the apple into a pipe, and you know, put the green in it. And my smart head decided that we should do it inside my apartment because outside would be too risky for anybody to see us. And of course, my friend at the time was very much anxious all the time. He was an anxiety being. So, of course, outside was not an option. So we decided to do it in my kitchen. So we turned on the extractor from the microwave, and made the pipe into made the apple into pipe, put the green in it, and we decided to light up inside the kitchen in the middle. We would just like blow the smoke out into the extractor, and that way nothing would smell and we would be clear, right? So I breathe it in, and he breathes it in, and we both feel like a little wave get into us, and we're like, oh, okay, we're definitely feeling a little something right now. So, excuse me, we start getting fucking geeked out, right? So we start feeling it, we start chilling, and we notice that we have to head back almost. So I'm like, all right, let me clean all this mess up. I make sure that no speck of butt or anything is in the kitchen or anything. And when I ashed the pipe, my brilliant brain thought that the best way for me to get ash the apple and get rid of the ashes was not to go outside and get rid of that. No. My fucking idea was, all right, I'm gonna put all these ashes into a paper, not a napkin, a paper towel, and I would just, fold it all up and throw it outside in the garbage bin, not in my house, or let alone blow it out, because God forbid that, right? That would be insanity. You just throw the apple anywhere, but no. And so we do that. We walk outside of my apartment, make sure that nothing is, outside or anything, because I didn't want to get caught by my parents, of course. And we start walking over to the school, right? All fine and dandy. And we start having a super good time, super bombastic time, We start walking, we feel our legs are a little wavy and shaky. Me, personally, when I get really baked on bud, my peripheral vision starts, vibrating in super, intense colors. When I look at anything, it's just, kind of normal. A little more vibrant, I guess, but if I don't look at anything, I'm just walking, it just kind of, vibrates in different colors. But anyway, I was just walking to school and, being amazed of how it felt to, be high on weed when you smoke it. And my throat was raspy. I was like, my mouth was really dry. I was like, oh my God, this is how it feels. I was having such a good time, right? But as soon as I started walking to school, I also started to realize how it can affect you when you're nervous or anxious. And boy howdy, did it feel like everybody in the school knew that I was high, and everybody looked at me like, boom, this guy is baked. So yeah, it went from a really good time, fun time, to a paranoid time in a second. As soon as I started walking into the school, I noticed, all right, I'm gonna have to put my mind and effort to just kind of chill out, not let this get to me, and just get through it. So I did that. We walked upstairs to our next period, which was science, and we had it together, my buddy and I, the one that I just smoked with, Zach, So we go and sit by at our table. This room actually had normally sit up tables. He had 2 or 3 rows of just tables separately, and I would sit at the very first one, walking inside the room, the very first one to the left. If you're looking at it from the top, and the exit is right at the exit is right ahead of you, and the board is right to the left of the exit door. My table would be the further one to the right in front of the exit door. Anywho, I don't know if that made sense, but I would sit there with my buddy Zach and his friend, and I did not talk to his friend, honestly, but I felt horrible. Why? Because as soon as I sat down, the girl right behind me just tells me, hey, Jared, are you high? And I turn around with my fucking baked eyes, just glossy eyes. And I'm like, I don't even say anything. She's like, oh, you're high, And I was like, shut the fuck up, don't say anything. Because that's the last thing I want to fucking hear right now. So she tells me, you smell. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, how strong of the weed was that? Like, she can smell it. Damn, you know? And I start panicking and freaking the fuck out, and so does my friend, because if I am panicking, I know my friend is dying, because he's way more anxious than me. He was a goody two-shoes Mormon guy, and, you know, geek gamer, nerd, all that. So I start fucking panicking. My heart starts fucking pumping, and for some of you guys that have, you know, been long time viewers, you may know the one and only great Cornholio, Lorenzo. He was in that class, and I did not tell him anything. We were still kind of like we were starting to kind of like build a relationship in a way, like a friendship, you know. But we wouldn't really talk. I would sit next to him probably a couple times, but never really like talk much or anything. So I didn't tell him anything. He probably read I don't even know what happened that day. But he just sat right in front of us, and he pulled his stool, you know, because it was 2 tables, and you can only fit 4 people, right? Because people would only sit on one side of the table. So it was two stools for one table, and then another table next to it, and then 2 other stools. So it was me, my friend, his friend, and then some other girl. And then my friend, just like Lorenzo, just pulled his stool right in front of us, sat down, and just chilled. And that kind of gave me like a little more comfort, you know? I was like, all right, he's not high. I can just talk to him or whatever. But as soon as that happened, our teacher comes up to us. He's like, have any of you guys smoked marijuana or been sprayed by a skunk lately? And I just looked at him dead in the eyes, and he looked me dead in the eyes. He had such fucking wide blue eyes. They almost looked like they were gonna pop out of their sockets, bro. But we told him no, I don't even, I freeze. I don't even know what to do. I'm dying. My heart's pounding. My friend next to me, I know he's dying. Zach, I know he's dying, but Lorenzo just looks at our teacher as I'm looking at him too, and he's like, nah, I don't do any of that, sir. And I died inside more, because I was like, well, we're fucked. And our teacher's like, well, if you guys smoke weed or marijuana, I hope you guys don't do it. I don't want to smell that around here anymore. Or again, he said something like that, and just dipped. And, you know, finished the the period with my heart pounding, almost dying. And I went to my next period, and everybody was just telling me that I smell like fucking bud so loud they could smell it. You know, everybody was telling me. So I started panicking a lot. So that was in my 5th period, and I was dying. I did not know if I could make it through the school smelling like that, so I panicked, and I dipped. I dipped my 5th period. I ditched class, went home, took all my clothes out so I could wash them. To my surprise, when I got home and I took off my jeans, I realized that I had never thrown away the ashes that I had put in my pocket in a paper towel that I was going to throw away in the garbage bin. So don't ash anything on a fucking paper towel. Ash it outside. Be normal, okay? Be normal.